Evening, United Rogue Marvel Rivals. I am Saucepan. I am here casting this game with Kioi. Say hello to the crowd.
Hello, how we doing? Hope everybody's having a good night. Excited to get into this big fight between Houston and our, excuse me, I was about to say Jersey. Is it Jersey?
San Diego. The
San
Gojer
Diego,
in the
excuse
chat's
me.
distracting us. I'm finally here casting a game. I've been on the back end of production for a bit now, just because of some scuffed availability on my end. But I'm happy to cast. I happy to see some of these teams play. I do remember a lot of these players from playing last season, and being at the bottom of the rung, it's scary. So it's finally now I'm no longer a victim to every player better than me. So
Who do you have here? What is out of just the things you know, who do you have here? Maybe like a map count prediction. Do you see a sweep? Do you see a going all the way? How are you feeling?
Uh, I don't think this game will be a sweep. At least based off the players I do know. I know some of these rosters are a little similar. At least players. I know like SDA especially. That's a lot of the same kind of like four maybe five. I don't completely remember if Orsi was on SDA last season, but I do know Ralts, KitKat, Aggro, and Casper were all part of that roster, and that was they had a very formidable roster that season. And same thing with Houston here. It's a lot of similar names I remember, and it's just both teams have a really solid pool of players. So I don't think it's going to be a sweep. Uh, I mean, I think it'd be exciting if it could go all the way. I think some of those tight games are really enjoyable to watch, really enjoyable to cast, but I think it's definitely sometimes it might just be also a matter of, meta could impact things too. Maybe one team's adapted to it better than others. So I can't necessarily make an exact prediction, but I think we're going to be in for a good game. That's all I can say.
Big game here for San Diego. You definitely don't want to go down 0-2, especially with they're 0-3 on the map count. They definitely want to get some points on the board map wise. Maybe figure things out. This is the best time to figure things out during the season. Maybe get a feel. Maybe see what's working, see what's not working. Adjust after this game. But first of all, hopefully win. Hopefully that's the objective. And yeah, you definitely don't want to go 0-2. And then if you are Houston, you definitely want to go 2-0. Depends too, you got those salaries, especially in the incoming weeks, you got to start your bench. Got to make sure everybody plays, hits their compliance.
Rotate that and rotate that roster around and all that. Maybe try out some new comps as a result of it as well. And looks like map 1 here going into Hell's Heaven. Personally not a fan of this map. This is probably, there's a few points here and there I don't mind. I think like it's know which point we're on. We'll find out when we get in there. But I don't know. This is not mine. So I don't know how chat feels. I don't know how these players feel. But
if you were to put yourself in the IGL position for either team here, what's one hero you would ban definitely or just one hero to look out for that's kind of powerful right now in the meta?
I mean, as far as I know, Gambit's still a really solid pick. He's still pretty solid even after some of these nerfs, some of these tweaks. We're already seeing some interesting bans and saves come out here. Like that Invis save is really potent. I know she's still pretty strong as well. Yeah, there's the Phoenix ban's another. That's a solid one. I'm hearing constantly how strong that character is as well right now. So. And there's the really Gambit strong, man.
Yeah, they protected the Invis. Invis is really good. If you got a really good Invis main, could really control the whole domain of the space, you could say, of the match.
Oh yeah,
especially in these control points.
And just very good anti-dive character as well. Is that you're not necessarily allowed to just like completely run at a team just because of that the push-pull she has going on. The Star-Lord Protect here is an interesting one. It makes me very curious what kind of comp they're trying to run here. But
doing my best here to run through these stats, see last week's scores, kind of get a feel more for each player. But I guess I'll learn right after, especially after map 1, see how everybody plays, and definitely see how they adjust.
Pick your hero or
villain. Yeah. I'm not judging. That and then the Hella ban at the end there's another one that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Another character that's just always incredibly potent. The horrors of the Hella.
Do you have any long-term predictions, at least maybe if one wanted to bet on who would be a champion or who would sneak into playoffs? Do you have any interesting takes for the UR
I
season long term?
I honestly don't really have anything going on now. I'm a little like a little out of the loop on like the micro of it all of who's been doing real. I know I've been just consistently seeing like Portland seems to be another really just strong roster from last season, and just they took what was already good and just improved it. I've been seeing Jersey's another really good name as well to go alongside with these two teams as well. So I'm not in tune with all the micro just yet, but so then it's a little hard for me to predict all that long term.
4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is
Venom in his hometown looking to do some damage here. Should be interesting to see him go to work, especially against an Invis.
Yeah.
See if he could dive in there.
So there we have Houston coming on this right side here. They're nice, right from the perspective of SDA, but left on the they're playing the height there. Then I'm immediately diving in here, set this up, buying all that space, and it
That's two supports
doesn't-
already.
yeah, just
Should be the whole team
Yep.
now.
yeah. That one dive from the Venom just like completely set everything up for Houston here.
They're gonna have
SC
to be
is
really
looking to-
careful with a Captain America and a Venom because the Loki.
Yeah.
The Loki could
That
pretty
hard
much just hold it
dive
down
is
by
just-
himself.
And so, like, an Invis is strong against it, but I think Invis alone is not going to be enough to pressure that out. Even with and they have the
Black
Bucky
Panther as
to
well.
match it. Yeah, BP, got picked early, but Houston's still holding the space pretty well. See this cap rotating, trying to pressure that back line again, buying space, buying time, rotating back in with their team. Venom going in to trade out the dives.
Looking for the gets a pick on the Strange.
So that's a
They don't
very
finish the
strong
Venom.
early pick. Yeah. Venom's able to maintain a safe distance. I've seen all come out here from the Star Lord, but
Big
not gonna be able
two-piece
to
from
really
the
break
Venom.
through anything.
Venom again got both healers in that second sequence.
Like just constantly just holding so much space, just with like their mere existence practically. Following up with just massive dives as well. Pressuring at the Star Lord pretty well here too. No fear at all. But big early pull from the Bucky, but the Star-Lord's gonna live here. Looks like we're seeing about 4 alts come online for the side of SDA. And they're gonna lose one of those massive ones for this fight here. And Houston's looking to just clean out this point.
That's
Using the
three
copy.
different times that both healers die at the same time.
This coordinated dive from Houston is really potent. Basically just winning that last fight there using 2 alts and just holding it like their economy really potent here.
Luna does provide that freeze against the Venom, but I think you're gonna need something else to keep you up a little bit longer. Maybe a switch to the Loki here. Definitely
Yeah,
focus
Loki's
more.
sustain.
And Emma really needs to time those chokes to at least either just insta kill the Black Panther, or just sustain the Venom.
Like all the pieces are on the board to shut down a dive comp. It's maybe something isn't clicking here. Maybe the comms aren't necessarily there for the calling one target and then immediately having to pivot because Houston's just playing that dive so fast. So if you're SDA here, like you need to really like hone in on that one person. You see that Venom leap in, you need to all focus him or just give the space and then rotate for the next dive or whatever. Like you can't necessarily just keep having these like scatterbrain kind of counter thing to it. Like you have the pieces to do it. You have the freeze, you have the invis. We're gonna see an early cap alt to try to start this fight out. Probably anticipating multiple ults from the side of
Both tanks in there
SDA here,
already.
trying to force that fight. We're gonna see a Luna ult come out to counter this dive a little bit here, trying to command space with it.
It is
First
a
pick on that
5v6. Yes. Strange
But-
looking for an ult here to rip.
Oh, that's
Here comes a Strange
a
ult.
little
Getting
late
two at
after being
least.
down 2, but trades it back for
Healer-
2. Very even fight here, but Cap's making sure to trade
One
out these
healer each.
picks.
Excuse me, 2 healers.
I think Houston might be able to round this out here.
Yeah, they should
This-
win with the 2 healers.
This Cap really just applying constant pressure to just any target, even not even just the back line, constantly trading out any picks SDA got. We're gonna see a switch
I
onto
think-
the Cloak and Dagger here too. Then maybe that'd be a little less anti-dive, losing that freeze, but maybe a little safer. Won't get picked as often. I think is the intent behind it. Gonna see this Emma ult come out early here.
Grabs one, grabs another one.
2. Seemed really good early
Gotta
pick on
finish
that
kill on the
Bucky.
Invis. Invis goes down. You're up. You're up 2.
Yeah. And Houston just kind of giving that space. They're letting him use an ult, taking a dry fight there, and just resetting so that they can hopefully realistically win this next fight. From their perspective, trying to balance that ult economy a little bit here, because we're seeing 2, close to 3 on each side here, but gonna see the Venom ult for the Star-Lord ult again, and seems to be applying a little more pressure to the Houston side, following up with another Namor ult as well, and SDA seems to be able to hold this space pretty well. Taking
Might
a
be a
2 for 2
reset.
trade.
Houston resetting here. I think they're. Yeah, the communication looks like it's gotten a lot better from the
Yeah.
side.
They're definitely really holding this space against the Houston dive, and they're already forcing some switches on the side of Houston. I believe it was last fight, but focus on what's at hand is on that Star-Lord
Really
over
good choke
the
point here. You
Bucky.
got the Strange ult coming out. Yeah, here it is.
Holding that space. Yeah, another Strange ult, just dominating that corner. Ooh.
Wow, that's really big. Alt loss there for Houston.
Yeah, that you want that Invis ult back.
Really seeing a lot of play with the Strange now. I think the first round, the Strange was on an island. In most of these
Yeah.
fights, they're finally playing
Strange
with
is
him.
really holding that space, and I maybe it's like from the interior perspective, they might be trying to play him a little more pokey to kind of slow them down before the dive can even engage. We're gonna see 3 ults from Houston here, trying to just win this fight with the Invis ult to counter. Seeing the Iron Fist ult, hoping to try to get a couple picks out as well. Just adding to the ult dump, because it's all or nothing here. They don't win this fight, they lose this
Cloak
point.
keeping everybody up. The anti-heal comes out of Venom. Emma
Big
grabbed
minimal.
one.
ML's just eating a lot of damage, buying a lot of resources, but I think Houston's able to sustain through it all. And already back up to another Invis ult, so I'm gonna see the Star-Lord out again to counter, but yeah, looks like they're just not gonna be able to do anything. Though it's a trade for trade on that Invis collecting the Venom there as well.
Namor and
Another
Strange got to work
Invis ult.
together here. You could secure the round here if you get your ult
Yeah.
synchronized.
And then they have another Invis ult to counter on this engage here.
Here comes the Namor ult. Gets
Big
yeah,
ult from the
perfect.
Moore. Another pick from the Invis. Oh,
Sandiego just has to clean up, and this is a round.
it's the trade for trades are getting a little dicey though, but getting a last minute Strange ult might be able to help flip it
Here
here.
comes the teleporter from Houston. This fight is not over at all.
No, and we see the Cap ult to stall as well. Coming back up with a
Loki
copy.
did
Copy for Invis and another Invis to match, but stacking the CD ult too.
There you go. Oh, someone got booped. Captain America got booped or kicked out of the map.
Launched off there, and SDA is going to be able to hold it, playing a little pokier than trying to just kind of bunker down against the dive. I think has really worked to their favor there, relying on that Namor poke, that Strange poke, getting a lot of value out of it, I think, here. But the only trade-off is, I think, from the end of that is Houston worked it in their favor just slightly, forcing that constant, just like duking it out, like that constant brawl going on there. And SD is going into this with no support ults here. And now, well, Houston doesn't have any ults whatsoever on their side. At least, I guess they're close to that Star-Lord ult. But I think it's still going to be rough, because if they can't necessarily commit on their dive on an SDA target here, one of those supports especially, they might be able to just sustain through it all and get an ult back, because these invises on both sides have been just constantly farming these ults. It's fight after fight after fight.
You got invis at 60%. If
Yeah.
San Diego knows this, if you're Emma, you gotta pop your ult off rip, get the objective off rip. This is your best.
It's exactly. You need to use the one ult you have right now to just start it.
And it's a perfect lane for her.
Yeah. We're gonna see use it to try to counter that Star-Lord ult, but I think that's just being an ult for ult trade, and I ultimately want to say it's a little more in favor of Houston here, because that emote could have probably been used to hold a ton of space for the team. I suppose you needed it to counter the Star-Lord ult, but Star-Lord trying to play these angles here.
Big damage from Namor here.
Trying to shut down that invis, but I don't know. I mean, we're going to see the Namor get picked. Another pick from the side of Houston as well, trying to, make up for the trades of their losses on their team. And
4v4 here. Captain America should be back to make this a 5v4. Good block. Looking for the cloak. Almost gets it.
We're going to see just like I said, already having these support ults back in one fight, just in this constant sustain brawl here. But and SDA's flipping it around, and they're coming out of it with already having that support ult. But we're about to see the Luna ult come online inside of Houston here, so still a pretty even trade. And Houston's don't
know exactly what happened in that back line, but Cloak was able to get both supports after popping ult. That Magneto missed,
which that was that win con for them for sure. The Houston comp here is also very early pick on that invis on the side of Houston, and it's definitely something you might not want to commit as hard without here. You might have Luna ult, but it's still a bit aggressive here to play with until they're a little closer.
Yeah, especially with that invis too in the pocket, ready to go.
Yeah. Strange getting pressured very heavy here, and eventually they're gonna break through. We're gonna see Star-Lord for Star-Lord trying to check each other out, and the SDA Star-Lord's gonna win that one there. But that cloak and dagger ult's down too. And the invis is walled off from their team. Very unfortunate timing from the map, because we love random map geometry shifting all the time, and it's going to work in Houston's favor. They were already fairly up in that fight, but basically the map forcing SDA to be out of down a healer was very favorable for the side of Houston here. And
San Diego with exactly 6-7% on the percentage. No pun intended.
6-7. I had to. We're gonna see two
big picks here. It's Strange all still available.
The Bucky ult getting stuff worked really well on the side of SDA here, and they were able to just kind of take a clean fight here. No losses. Only one ult used as well in the blade ult.
I don't know how Houston lost control there, especially after popping that invis ult.
Yeah.
I thought Strange was going to use his ult, but ended up working even better for them.
For this Strange looks like they are positioning to force the engage, let them take all this space, and then engage from behind here.
Ooh.
Gonna get frozen out of it, but
great freeze.
I think it's enough just buying resources out of them. And they're going to stay in this fight, stay up with that invis ult, and just holding this space really well with their poke comp they've been running here.
5v5.
See this mag ult out, maybe try to snipe that cloak and dagger, which they were able to successfully do.
Luna comes in to save Cap right before he dies.
That Luna ult is big, and what was looking like an
Big
SDA-sided fight, but oh, that blade ult was massive. I'm going to see a Star-Lord ult to clean everything up, breaking through these shields, doing everything they can.
Teleport comes in, Strange dies. The game.
And the Cap ult to stall.
If it's one person who could stall, it's this man right here.
It's Cap. And it's doing wonders. Enough time for the rest of Houston to get back and going to pick up a pick out of it. Pick up a
Strange
pick.
ult available, but...
And they were Cap was able to solo stall. Oh. And a nice little exit frag there too. And Houston's still in this game. They aren't giving up.
That's gonna haunt San Diego.
Yeah.
That Captain America.
Especially having committed so many ults to that last fight too.
Yeah.
And against Houston having 2. They have that Punisher ult, they have that Invis ult, and we're gonna see that Punisher ult. Speaking of.
He heard you.
Forcing them all to play in that little corner, which is exactly where that Cap wants to be playing. But the Moon Knight ult's going to buy a lot of space here too. Trade for trades here. It's even, but this Punisher is looking real low. Gonna just barely get out. Strange is in deep.
Gotta capitalize here.
Yeah. There's that Invis ult. Invis for Invis here. If Houston plays this right, they're gonna get they have that Spider-Man ult. They can use that here to probably clean things up.
Both
one off the back line.
Barely gets
follow-ups with their team.
Wow.
That Spider-Man ult timing that perfectly there to clutch this up, and Houston's gonna be taking this map 1.
I think that backline pressure at the second half of that round really made the difference there.
Yeah, it very much is what shifted a lot of that.
Not healing Strange at all.
They were able to create so much space with this consistent Cap dive. Even though the rest of Houston kind of up until those last couple fights there, they pivoted to a more poke-centric comp. They still kept that Cap there, and that was able to kind of disrupt the SDA backline, and they weren't able to necessarily maintain a consistent poke as well, which is what was checking the dive on map 2 there. And
I was in D with the MVP. The numbers don't really big hits, big final hits, but I think his MVP moment was that stall.
That stall. That was great. That just the 1v5 or one. I guess was it 6? I think the SDA had all 6 by then. Regardless, they were the last one alive, and that stalled them just long enough to buy time for the rest of Houston to get back and they were able to clean it up. And even at the end, that triple DPS comp they kind of had maintained there, I think, also worked in their favor. It just became so much damage for SD to keep up with there. Honestly,
and I think San Diego did panic. They're switching to Strange, and they didn't use that Strange teleporter at all at the right time. They still could have afforded being up 50%. There was no need. Did cost them at the end. That's when you need your Strange portal. When they're about to hit 99, that's when you really need your Strange portal. You see a lot of people try to finish or secure the round, but you still have 50%. Just kind of rely on that, regroup.
Yeah, very definitely could have probably used some of those that for a more effective recontest than they had going. But hopefully going into map 2 here. Combination of the map, what maps are available for them to pick, and then combine that with their picks and bans.
Are map picks new this season? I don't remember seeing map picks last season.
We did have map picks. I believe most of this, all these spectator screen is is new in the game as of this Marvel Rivals season. But we did have map picks last season. It was loser picks as well. And it's definitely something you want to use to your advantage on that side, using that to combine with your saves and bans here. to maybe, figure out what was working against your comp, banning those Houston picks. Like, I feel like we have to see a cap ban here. I feel like there's no world where San Diego lets that through again. It was just so dominant. I mean, I suppose maybe you pick a map where it's not going to be as viable, but because they're going to Midtown here, uh, which I will say I like this map. It has grown on me.
Have you
The
played the new map, the Collector's
I have
Museum?
not. I was partially hoping they would pick it, but alas, we're
Me
going into
too. That
this.
that has a lot of Easter eggs. I don't know. I don't. Do you have any predictions of any future heroes or villains being added to the game?
I mean they drop hints every now and then. You usually get to see some of it towards the last couple little cards, like the lore cards they drop at the end of a season. I want to say they've already been data mined, but don't quote me on that. Uh, and
I did see an Infinity Gauntlet. So if we at one point get Thanos as a tank, that would
that
kind
would
of
be
complete the game
exciting.
for me
Yeah.
personally.
Uh, seeing a lot of the same bands so far, but believe it was a similar protect. I don't remember if Houston protected that cap on their first round, but we're gonna see a protect on the thing come out for
They did not. They
SDA
protected
here.
the Venom.
That's what. Yes, yeah. Which so they're pivoting their comp. They're looking what's working. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised though that SDA is still gonna ban that Hulk first because as far as I remember, that is definitely House's character.
Yeah,
So I think
I heard.
they'd
I heard
rather
MD.
allow the cap than allow the Hulk. Uh, but
Yeah,
we're
I've
gonna
heard
see,
rumors that MD brings the house down, literally with Hulk.
uh, and we're gonna see an Emma ban as well to round it out for Houston, which I think is pretty interesting. Stopping any mag Emma plays, but. Looks like SC wants to run a mag thing or a mag angel anyway, which I think still works. Hybrid pokey divey setup. The hell is banned again, and they're gonna protect this Bucky as well, which I think is definitely uh, gonna be interesting, I guess. Versus, I believe they protected the Star Lord,
Interesting
but
pick here with the thing coming out on defense. Defense thing is a big risk. And a Captain America, if they come out with a
and
Punisher, or they could switch real quick, pull out a
they're
Punisher,
all
and could turn really
they're
ugly
running
real
with the
quick.
magic though, so I think they're gonna try to rely on having. Okay, they're gonna switch off the magic, go back to the Star Lord, which I have to admit I'm a little disappointed. I would have loved to see a magic, but and I have to let my biases slide. I still think even with that, it looks like San Diego almost wants to run like a hybrid kind of comp here, with having three of them play a little more up, play a little more divey, and then have the supports play with a Namor as an
It's a
anti-dive kind
big
of
risk
counter.
here. It's a big risk, especially with the offensive team being able to switch right away, having spawns so close.
Yeah, but we've seen an early pick on that BP, getting kind of isolated up on that height there into the Star Lord. I think I believe the cap was up there with him, and SDA is holding the space pretty well with this mix comp. The near full dive that Houston had going is not necessarily paying out as much as it was that first point of last map.
Magic's off
So,
the board, and also
yeah,
the Black Panther, Punisher, and Storm coming
yeah.
out. They just
Punisher
realized
and
there's
they
no shields
immediately
to
off
deal
the
with.
magic, which I can't blame them, and I think again it's like kind of a comparable as to why on point 2 last map, the
Big ult
SDA
here.
comp countered that dive. Yeah, massive, and SDA is holding this well. Instead of trying to counter a dive by poking them out beforehand, they're just hard committing on them first. They're not even giving them a chance to actually really walk out the doors.
Even if they counter pick you here, if you just catch them off guard with this comp, you just take off 2 minutes off the first stage.
Yeah. Which looks like SDA is about to be doing here, with a Punisher almost getting just full clip there. Giving a little bit of space here to, rest up, get full health before they just hard engage again. But it's a lot harder for SDA to engage now into this comp with the yeah, the cap's gonna get picked, but traded out for the Venom and the Invis. But counter Invis out of Houston here to stop the Star-Lord ult, and Houston's
3 ults
really
here.
pushing through here.
San Diego about to have 5 ults in total.
Yeah. You gotta press something, and we're gonna see the big Namor ult, but it might not be enough to stuff it. Yeah, the Punisher Venom Luna is just too potent. Cap for cap ult here, and it's just SDA using every ult they have, with Houston coming up with something to match it every time, and it's just really turning into Houston's favor here. The cap stall's attempted, but it's just not going to be enough. Houston is a train that won't stop.
That cloak ult did cost him a little bit. You get a big stagger here, you get another stagger here. Not the best play from San Diego at the end.
No. I understand the intent, but you already used how many ults, and you're using the next one you got on the deck, ults. And it's just keep even the littlest of an advantage you have in an ult economy. And
Houston should be already halfway.
Yeah, they're just constantly taking this space here.
And the ult, like you said, the ult eco is not good right now for San Diego.
Not at all. They have that Star-Lord ult online, and we can see that Invis ult coming online for Houston, and they just, pop out the counter. It is nothing they can really do, and already trading a Magneto for Magneto here. We're gonna see the Bucky ult go in and try to hold this. We'll get picked for it, but the space is still held. We're seeing SDA here to kind of pivot onto a little pokier of a comp again, to maybe try to stop any dives with the Mag Hawkeye, and
that was really that was pretty good. That was pretty good for San Diego. They've managed to save that.
Yeah, they've really tightened things up and were able to kind of reclaim the objective again and force Houston back, but only just enough to wait for 6, as Houston's already back in the fight. It's an early pick here on the cap. You see the Punisher ult, both Invis ults come out, and Houston's just cleaning house here. I think there's only, though it is 2 ults for 1, but I don't think Houston cares, and that last stagger pick on the Star-Lord there.
It costed them going for that Captain America. It split 2, especially the Thing being away from the team, just opening it up for everybody else on the Houston side.
They got the pick, but it didn't matter, as the Houston's able to still win that 5v6, even if it is just brute forcing with ults. And they're meeting SDA here very, very early, trying to hold as much space as they can on this street sequence here. But we are seeing 5 ults on the side of SDA, 5.5, to be completely honest, with that Invis ult just constantly climbing. We're see SDA staying up here. Yeah. But Houston's not giving up just yet. Oh, and that Hawkeye just completely ripping through the
no ults used there, huge.
No, it's going into basically 6v6 ults.
We have the Thing here looking for his ult through the side. They don't know he's there. Might come out. It comes out.
Massive Thing ult. Pair it with that Star-Lord ult. I see a Mag ult to counter, but it might shut down the CD ult, but I think SDA is still going to be able to hold regardless. That Thing ult just bought a lot of time and space for SDA here. We're gonna see the Hawkeye ult. We're gonna see the Luna ult to counter it. Going in aggressively with the Mag ult. Gonna get a pick out, trade for the Hawkeye, but See that Bucky already off to a reset. That might just be it. Massive play from the Bucky on the side of Houston here. Just working through any ults they're throwing in. Not able to catch the Star-Lord, but doesn't matter. Gonna get the pick regardless, even without the ult. SDA back on this cap with the Invis ult coming out as well. Trying to stall it. And off the CD, back on the Luna. Might even be able to get a Luna ult in time to help stall after this Invis ult is over, but I have to stay alive to do that. The Hawkeye pick, playing off that cap stall really well. Maybe Houston's cap is going to get picked here. We're going to see a Star-Lord ult here out. Out.
Whoa.
And SDA able to just clean things up. That was just... I couldn't even keep up with it. It was just pick after pick on both sides, and it looks like the thing is able to self-sustain with the Star-Lord damage picking everyone off. You see the Strange TP coming out. Cap's gonna get the touch to set up for the Strange play. They're gonna make it in, but we're gonna see that Luna ult come out.
Strange gonna get all
Houston's
here.
damage isn't able to break through, but we're gonna see the Bucky coming out again. Reset after reset for this Bucky.
The cherry on top with the Strange ult here.
Yeah.
Should be the round.
Yeah, just barely cap that. 0 seconds in the clock, but doesn't matter. You get all 3 points. You just gotta full hold them now.
San Diego did have a lot of slip ups. They do have a lot of good energy. It just they kind of get impatient, you could say. They split up. They kind of let one thing turn into a lot of multiple things that don't go their way.
Yeah,
but I think that should the biggest thing is that, really well on attack.
Yeah, I think with the if they can just throw in a little bit of that aggression they had, holding right away, like on right at that spawn doors there, they might be able to just keep pushing that through into the Houston comp and just work their way through it. Not seeing many switches out. We're gonna see a Psylocke instead of a Star-Lord off the start here, and I believe other than that, comps are the same. I do know Tuddy on the side of Houston was on the cap for the recontest. I do not completely remember what they were. I believe they were running the Mag prior, Mag Venom. So yeah, not really. So not many changes so far here. Curious to see what the goal with the Psylocke into this comp is. Over the Star-Lord, which has been shown to at least get consistent value, even if that value is blowing ults on the side of the of Houston, forcing a defensive reaction to a Star-Lord ult. I suppose I guess you can do the same with Psylocke here, and so the little Punisher nest that's reminding me of Overwatch 1 in 2016. It's a Bastion on the high ground with a shield with him, and
don't remind me, bro. Then maybe just
buying a lot of space for Houston here, holding it down, but the Psylocke was able to contest them off of it and really just pressuring the rest of Houston here on the high ground. I like the side
pick right here.
Yeah.
Great hook. Disappears.
I see this Bucky ult about to come online here. With the SDA is gonna have that Invis ult to retaliate for it, and
gets the Bucky.
Gonna get picked for it. 2 picks out of this Hawkeye here, but 2 picks back from Houston, and it looks like they're evening things out and finally able to clean things up. Is even with the that Invis ult on the side of SDA, they're not able to hold it down as well as they probably would have liked, even with those Hawkeye picks as well. And
if you're San Diego, you got numbers, you got to push up here quick.
Yeah.
But no, never mind.
Push up fast. Push up fast. Use your ults. You're coming in on basically 4 ults. That Psylocke should realistically get ult again fast. Hawkeye's gonna try to pressure this Punisher out off the high ground. early pick on the Psylocke isn't good, but counter picking it with the Bucky is, you know, favorable. Trying to get that mag, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. I'm gonna see this cap ult come out here from Houston.
I am ready to put on a show.
Luna ult to
Force of
counter.
Luna. Looking for the Luna pick here.
Mag ult trying to hunt him down, not able to find him, but Psylocke's still gonna pick that. Gonna get 2 picks of the Punisher into the Luna with Hawkeye picking off the Invis, and I think SDA is gonna be able to clean this up here. Just committing 1 ult for it as well. And coming in on that second support ult as well is
Halfway there. Keep going.
SDA, I think, has a little bit of a favorable ult advantage here going. Poking that cap
I
out
could do some
really
damage
hard
here.
trying to hold this space. We're gonna see this Punisher ult come out. Mag ult to counter, but gonna blow it a little early. We're gonna see that Psylocke out finally, but Luna ult to counter that one, plus a Bucky ult to follow it up. We're gonna see that Hawkeye ult out now, and Invis ult to counter that. I feel like I'm watching Rock Paper Scissors. It's goats all over again. I'm back in 2018. And finally, someone died again, I think. And it's on this. It's gonna be a pick on the side of Houston, and yeah, there's another one from that Hawkeye. Cap stalling, but I think it's a fruitless effort as SDA is gonna cap this first point here. And I really have to just highlight this Hawkeye pick here for SDA. Is I think across both sides here, it has been a consistent source of damage, and is, you know, probably 90% of the time the reason why any Houston dive just doesn't actually get to go through, because that one you know, well-placed Hawkeye shot does enough damage to. And as I'm glazing it, he gets picked from counter poke, so, you know, casters curse it. But this Punisher's out putting a lot of damages as well, shredding through that team with the Star-Lord now on the side of Houston, and SDA really did not get a whole lot of space, to be honest. They didn't get to push it around that corner, so Houston's going to realistically be able to set up and just hold them in this choke here. They're going to need to probably use a couple ults to break through, unless that Hawkeye gets another well-placed pick. But as I got to say that, it's mirroring the Punisher here, but I think it's a similar thing. Is you can check a dive just as well. That cap jumps the wrong way. One shotgun blast completely pops him. And we're going to see this cap ult here, pairing it with the Punisher ult, but we're going to see a Luna ult to counter, and it does not matter. It's going to rip through the opposing Punisher. I'm going to see the Psylocke out from SDA here, trying to clean up with the Luna ult again to counter. That Mag is looking for the pick, and we're going to get one pick with it. Mag ult for mag ult, and it's just ult after ult. It's like I'm watching goats again. It's an ult to counter an ult to counter an ult. And finally rounding out this Punisher ult, shredding through, and I think SDA was able to rip through it well enough. And so it looks like delaying the support ults did not necessarily work in the favor of Houston here, as that ult charge is a little higher, and they're able to sustain through it.
Yeah, you could say Orchi's San Diego's get out of jail card for sure.
Yeah, the damage.
A lot of fights
Punisher
aren't going their
output.
way, and he comes out either with the Hawkeye picks or with the Punisher ult.
The Punisher. I want to see this
Huge ult.
Venom just get 2. Invis is gonna help clean up that mag on point, and
Should be the point here. Don't let
the Cap's
cap
probably
get in
gonna
here. Do
attempt
not
to
let him.
stall again, but that Luna pick might be enough to stop that Cap from going for it. Oh, yeah, it's just not gonna be enough. Even they're gonna have to trickle in, and it's just not something I think Houston wants to properly do. Though they are gonna Strange Portal for it, waiting for the Cap to come up. And Strange stalled just long enough for more of them. That Star-Lord's out. This Cap is back. He's going to try to stall long enough to get another ult. We're going to see a pick from Houston here. But again, 2 back for SDA. And they're holding this advantage.
Captain America
Venom
ult
buying
here.
space. There's that Cap ult. But
We saw this
We're seeing
last
this
round.
Punisher is just shredding. It's gonna be hard to stall through even with that Luna ult. They're gonna get the Spider-Man, and I think that's it. SDA is gonna cap.
Keep up the momentum.
Complete stall of a fight, though. I saw the intent, Houston. I saw it. Stalled to OT at the very least, so gives SDA only a little over a minute here.
You got
to
4
break through and
ults on
cap.
each side coming up. And like you said, yeah, paper, scissors, rock here, especially with the invis ults.
Only 60 seconds.
Yeah, that seems to be one of the core shutdowns to it. Gonna see an early Star-Lord out. Punisher ult to check out with the invis. And just that Punisher's looking for that early pick. Very, very early pick here. Just ripping through both supports down on the side of Houston. And
Houston's got to take space here. Try to get out. Runs away. Get at least the Star-Lord. Gets the Star-Lord.
Down to 30 seconds.
it's enough going into this last bend here. 30 seconds on the clock. I think if SDA is able to cap this, they have just as little time as Houston did. And
San
Mag
Diego's
playing a
gonna play
little
really
too up
well.
and gonna get picked for it. Gonna combo that Psylocke ult with the Venom ult, but it's not gonna be enough to break through. And Houston's gonna get that last minute rally with the Punisher Luna ult and is able to break through. See this Mag ult stopping any from touching, and that last little rally Houston gets is able to hold it down.
Yeah, not having any support ults there was the determining factor for San Diego's
Yeah.
fall.
I don't know. We saw the switch onto that Strange the very last second, but there's not enough time for them to make that switch to get that portal. There wasn't enough time for them either, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, big damage from this Punisher on the side of Houston. Obviously, that cap is still holding a ton of space. But same with the Bucky. Those Bucky ults were multiple, like 3-4 Ks from the Bucky on the side of Houston here. And so going in, Houston's up 2-0 right now.
This is anybody's
make or
game, I
break.
think. I think this is anybody's game still. I think if you're San Diego, you kind of have to reset here, of course. 0-0. I think, in my opinion, it could be 2-0 San Diego from what we've seen. You just got to kind of stick everything together and just move on, reset. It's brand new series for them. Just get one point. Get 1 point, move forward.
That
and I
one
think it's
map
working.
that's
I think
that rally.
their changes are working. The thing really slowed down the Captain America. The Captain America wasn't that impactful.
And I think their intent on that last play there, with the comboing the Venom Psylocke ult, to kind of disregard any support ults thrown in back. I see the vision there. I think the that Punisher ult, though, from the side of Houston to counter, like, I think that was enough to shut it down. Is even with the overhealth the Venom gets, is it's so much damage to have to sustain through, and the timing might have been a little off, which could have been the whole reason why the Psylocke wasn't able to get enough picks. But it's you got to think like that. You got to think some of those combos and stuff like that, and like keep track of what the rock paper scissors counters you have going. Because if if you're going, I want to Star-Lord ult this fight, and they have that invis, play around it. Make sure you say, if you're running a mag, have that mag ult on lock or whatever. It is rock paper scissors, so you gotta if you want to play paper, you gotta be prepared for their scissors with a rock on hand.
100%. It's a Star-Lord life is not well right now. Definitely a lot of invis ults. You could say Luna not that much of a problem. She doesn't have the same amount of space compared to an invis ult. So if you could,
and doesn't have that slow either.
If you're either one of the Star-Lords, if you see that invis die, that's your best moment you're gonna have. But at the same time, I think the Magneto is another factor. Those Magneto ults are pretty much an offensive Invis ult that pretty much counters not only the Punisher ults but the Star ults.
Yeah, they're taking this aggressive angles with it because I mean that's also the big thing we've been seeing is almost all of these support ults are purely reactionary. It is done when they hear something. They hear that Psylocke ult, they hear that Punisher ult, they hear that Star-Lord ult. Even if they hear that Emma ult, they've been in that first map. They've been ripping it.
Yeah, I think I only saw one of kind of a you could say a offensive Invis ult was in the control just to sustain
Yes,
and capture the point.
I think it was done to play up with that dive to hold that space. And for map 3 here, we're going to Hall of Jalia. Jalia? Jalia?
The Jalia?
I don't remember what language Wakandan is based off of, since it is technically a fictional language. But we'll say Hall of Jalia. We'll go with that. That sounds good enough. And we're gonna see these same first two bands every time. The Mantis, the Hulk
Is there a
band.
Mantis main on the side of San Diego? Someone we should
That
be
would
afraid
be
of?
my guess. Yeah, Pure is a Mantis player, from what I've been informed. My Brown have also just been that's a character that can help enable a triple support comp, and I think there's also just banning it for that reason, similar to the
True.
Gambit ban as well. We're gonna see the Venom Protect now instead
Reminds
of
me
the
of a
Cap
scary
ban.
Zenyatta you would run into in Overwatch.
Yeah, very, very much so. Uh, yeah, these bans are looking about the same. The protects are looking about the same. Just switching the Venom now in again for the cap. Uh, seeing the Emma protect here, which I believe again was what was run last time. I'm curious what the second protect on the side of Houston is going to be.
If it's not Captain America, I just say you ban Captain America if you're San Diego.
Yeah, if they don't protect it, don't let it through.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be
I
a
don't see why
Punisher.
not. You
Okay.
kind of you make could either make or break you, but you make
I want to see
pivot.
a mag ban from Houston here. All right, they're really going for the throat here. They don't want to let something like that be enabled. They don't want to aggro on that Magneto here, it seems. And I mean, you could ban that cap, but maybe they want to keep it for themselves here. Okay, they're gonna ban the Bucky, which is I think that's another pretty solid
It's a
ban to
yeah,
utilize here.
it's a good heat check. It's a good heat check for a
Yeah.
crazy cat.
Houston's been really utilizing that to their favor. Okay, so that's probably why they protected the Emma and weren't as worried about the Magneto here, because they probably wanted to run an Emma comp themselves. But the all right, then there's the Namor Hella comp coming out from Houston, paired with the yeah, Emma Venom, and then they're gonna run the same support line that both teams have been running 90% of these games. The Invis Luna.
30 seconds
It's
before
still good. It's always been good. Though we are gonna see the cloak back on the side of SDA here. Similar comp again, Emma Venom. We're gonna see that Star-Lord back on the side of SDA. Pair it with the Punisher again,
the battle starts in 5,
which
4, 3.
I forgot how sides work, and I was thinking Houston was just gonna try to run this hard poke with Hella Namor on defense. But I suppose you can see the value in playing it aggressively here. Have that Venom engage with the space that he creates. Have the damage gets to walk up for free, and we're gonna see a counter Venom dive in, and they're gonna get picked for
Not
it.
what you want to see if you're San Diego.
Not at all. And this is the space Houston needs here. Now they don't have to worry about getting dove on. Punisher shirt's gonna go down basically immediately. That Emma is just getting focused, and there you go. And Houston is just running them over. That all they did was that one pick, and that's enough space for Hella and Namor to hold here with that team up. And to add to it all, the Venom on the side of Houston is just walking at them, just basically going uncontested here.
You need to stop that vehicle in its
And very quick attack on the side of Houston here, capping that point when they have just under 5.5 minutes to go.
Would like to see San Diego kind of, just let it all out there. You do have a Hella to deal with. I don't think Namor is the best play here. You're not really dealing with any dive besides the Venom.
No, and I don't think that's the damage to match it.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I think you need to just match that that damage, mirror that Hella, and it's just getting a ton of value here.
I try to warn him, gets killed by the Hella. Star-Lord goes down. Hella just having fun.
They put LeBron in the Little League games. They put LeBron in the Little League games. That's over. This Hella is just having a blast.
We might see a late teleporter here to at least get some contest time.
Gonna see that the Hawkeye out now on the side of SDA though as well to pair with that Strange. Maybe trying to go a little pokier, mirror poke with poke. And the moral gonna get a big pick.
I mean, excuse me. 5v4 now. Make that a 4v4. Excuse me, 3v5.
A lot of ults coming out.
I'm looking at the wrong scoreboard.
A lot of ults coming out from both sides. Basically, everything each team has, and Houston's gonna flip that in their favor right now. And just I gotta look at the stat line as Hella's posing right now. Yeah, this is indescribable. Hella is just having fun. They're actually lobby adminning right now, and then any follow up from that Namor as well as helping them. Obviously, the team up also does wonders. That one pick, you get the turret, and you just can keep chaining with that. Hawkeye's hoping
the team up as well is just doing too much damage.
Yeah, that team up is insane. It's enough, and it's just like that. 2 little bits of poke going is just enough to fully stop any engagements from SDA. But the Stranger is going to take a very aggressive angle. It's going to get that pick on the opposing Emma. But Houston isn't giving it up. They're holding this fight. They're scrapping it. They're brawling it out right now. And there we go. That's going to be another pick from Hella on the Moon Knight. Kind of playing to that poke. Just playing in the fray. Melee range Hella. They don't care. I'm going to see an Emma ult out. Plus a CD ult.
Almost gets the whole team
using
with
this bank.
Emma ult.
We're going to see a counter Luna ult as well. Strange ult. Looks like it's going to come up empty. You're going to see the Moon Knight ult as well, but it doesn't seem like it's going to grab anything. And that Venom ult is going to try to clean everything up for the side of Houston. And looks like they're coming out on top still.
I think San Diego is just a little bit staggered. And I think they're not respecting themselves. I think they need to come out with a dive. There's not a single dive character in that lineup right now, and nobody's bothering, no healer.
I think they're pivoting to this though, just to attempt to counter dive instead of pure poke. But this Hell ult's gonna buy a ton of space. We're gonna see this Hawkeye ult out as well, trying to, come up with anything, poke anybody out, and gonna get traded out. We're gonna see the Houston
beautiful
Strange
hop
ult.
by
Looks like it's gonna
Strange.
clean everything. Just Houston's gonna cap with 3 minutes left. Very much showing just complete dominance on this map 3 here. I think the rally that needed to happen from the side of SDA, pick everything back up, lock in, and go for that reverse sweep is I think Houston's the ones doing it. They're using that 2-0. So we're making it a 3. We want to wrap this up here.
What do you tell as the IGL of SDA here? What do you tell your team here? Do you try something new?
I mean I think you run at least what was working earlier, like what was working in map 1, what was kind of holding a lot of space on that map 2 as well, and I think that's ultimately what they were trying to do with that with pulling that Hawkeye out, pulling even that Moon Knight out, pivoting back to the Strange is relying on a little pokey or comp. And I know Strange might not be necessarily a traditional poke tank by comparison of like a Magneto, but they're trying to do something with that kind of heavy poke comp with that Venom to kind of counter dive and, disrupt the Houston line. And I think just they know what they have to do. They're, putting the pieces on the board to do it, and I think they're just not playing it the way they need to. That, it's the mind's there, the hands might not be, and I think Houston's really just exploiting that with basically doing the same thing. They have that Venom going in, disrupting the dive, and they have the Namor Hella just
Here comes an
DPSing for
amazing
free.
play here by Strange. Hella and Strange on the top right.
Just holding that little angle there, buying a ton of space. Seeing though, Houston says we can't beat him, join him. They're mirroring that DPS lineup, basically just almost full mirroring the comp, apart from running an Emma instead of a Strange, which I think could in theory work in SDA's favor. But check the Strange with an Emma, but doesn't seem to be again. It's just Houston's just running them over. This Hella is just unstoppable. And no switches from Houston yet. They're gonna try this again. And same thing. I think like they want to use this Emma to kind of break this Strange barrier down to expose the Houston backline. Maybe try to pick the Hella as a result of it. But Strange is just sustaining way too well through it, and Hella's just playing that. Oh, there it is. Hella got picked. Maybe with that, Houston might be able to, fall over a little bit here. But we're gonna see that counter Namor ult.
Big ult. Here comes their Namor. Only gets a
Houston
Venom.
gets a pick out of it, but SDA counter picks it. Invis for Invis. We're gonna see the Houston Strange ult come out, but that Luna lives just long enough to get their own ult.
Invis goes down
Luna
to the
Luna.
Hella.
And the Houston Hella's back, and they're able to just the second they're back on the field, just completely walks it down. And Houston or SDA had that momentum going with that first Hella pick, but doesn't seem like they were able to carry it. That Strange on the side of Houston was just sustaining through everything, stalling enough to get.
They are copying.
Utilize
They
their
are
ult as
copying their
well.
lineups, but I think the lack of creativity from SDA is lacking extremely.
Yeah.
You got the Namor and the Hella taking different angles, just disrupting in any way possible.
I'm gonna see that Venom ult come out here early, buying a ton of space, and Hell's gonna use the damage, gonna get a pick, set up that team up, and get another pick, and it's just gonna basically ult in their spawn and getting how many picks out of it, and they're holding this space so well. I think they're seeing this value in the Houston comp, but they're not playing it correctly themselves. They're not utilizing that Venom to disrupt the space on the opposing side. We're seeing House here just dive in his Venom, disrupt the space, and Hella uses that to get a pick or two, and that just sets up a steamroll through the rest of their snowballs. We're gonna see the Strange on the opposing portal on the high ground here. Counter Hella ult out with a Namor ult and an Invis ult. Just ult.
Wow!
Throw them all out
Immediately
there.
get kicked out of the ult.
Picked by the opposing Namor. Strange stalling that height. We're gonna see the SDA Venom ult come out here, but it's gonna get 2. And SDA, I think, is finally breaking through it a little bit. Hell's gonna get an exit frag. House on this Venom's gonna stall here a little bit, but it might not be enough to stop this point from getting capped.
Here comes the Strange ult. They're not gonna let him free.
Grabbing that health pack.
Grabs the
with
portal.
shield.
Might be able to touch last
Gonna
minute.
barely get a last second touch, but
Pops in.
Houston's gonna get this last in. We're gonna see the SDA Strange ult, and it's gonna be enough to hold it. and one last exit frag, but SDA is gonna cap this. They're in the game.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
They're in it. They don't want the. They're not out yet. And I think they maybe started to crack the code a little bit on playing this mirror comp. But also it very well could have just been a slight slip up on the side of Houston here, committing on that Strange portal when they didn't need to, and the Houston Strange is gonna get picked here for the fight, before the fight really even starts. And all the space created as a result from the.
Gotta push up here if you're SDA. No ults
pick.
to deal with on the support side.
No. Just keep going up. Seeing
There we go.
pick after pick from SDA.
Just 2 more left. 3 more left. Strange is back. Venom's running.
I'm gonna clean out the more up, and it's gonna be a massive stagger, and
Huge,
very
huge.
good offense here from SDA. Kind of going uncontested here, for being honest.
That was probably one of the fastest points I've seen on this map.
Yeah. See that early Namor up? Oh, immediately gets a pick on the opposing.
There we
Helen,
go.
is able to clean things up. This Namor does not care. They are doing as they please. They are locking in, just like they did as Hawkeye in that prior map. But
You're gonna have
really paying off.
4 ults versus 5 ults here.
Yeah, Houston's got
if
everything.
If you're SDA, you gotta keep your distance here and just kind of bait out these ults.
Yeah, you need to. They want to use something to bait one of them out and just keep trying to cycle it.
Huge
double
pick.
DPS ult, Invis ult to pair with it. We're gonna see a Luna ult though, completely shutting down SDA's Invis ult as well with the Helen Namor combo. It's gonna be 3 for 3 basically, and Houston's gonna be able to stabilize out of it as a result. Shutting down that Invis ult was massive. I didn't even notice it until I looked at the percentage bars and saw a dead Invis with 1%, which very good plays from Houston there. And the Houston Namor's already back 60% to their next ultimate, so it's like they didn't even use it basically. See early Venom ult out from Houston here. Able to just kind of use it to steamroll through and clean things up, hold that space again, buying a lot of time off that clock. Houston saw that 0.1 to 2 stretch there, and they're like, we're not letting that happen again. We're holding this down here. As I think we're edging into probably last fight territory by the time even SDA is like setting up taking this fight. They're gonna have 30 seconds left, and they're basically face checking 4 ults with maybe 4 themselves, but early Strange ult to open this up with the more ult to follow, and it's gonna get 2 picks and nothing to show for it. It's that 3rd pick, and
not enough time. I don't think there's enough time for that teleporter. This might be game.
Yeah, they maybe can get it off purely because Houston cleaned it up that fast. They won that fight in a matter of seconds, and it might just barely give them up. Let's see if we get this portal off 3. Invis might get the touch. They get the portal off the last second. Hella ult for Luna ult here.
Yeah.
But it might not be. Yeah, they're going to get burned out of that Hella ult. Not going to be enough to blow it up. We're going to see a Luna ult to counter it. But then following up the Houston Luna ult.
Gets the Invis.
That's to me too. Shuts down that Houston Luna ult. This SDA Namor here is able to just really break through that. They cycled their support ults, but SDA played a little smart. That last second touch is yeah, almost that ending that fight as fast as they did, like that complete once and done on Houston might be what's slowing them, but House gonna go for the early touch here. Massive Venom ult. Gonna get stuck in the Invis, but doesn't matter. Another Venom for Venom here. This Hellalt trying to buy space gets burned immediately. We're gonna see that first pick for Houston, and they're gonna be able to seemingly clean it all out,
It's
and
just
they're gonna be able to
too
hold
much
it.
projectile from the Namor and the Hela.
Yeah, just so much spam damage, and even with having both support ults from SDA, they were not able to stall out through that Hela ult and the Namor ult, and just all that damage. And I guess I could have also caster cursed it. I didn't expect the 3-0. I thought this was going to be a lot tighter of a series. I mean, I think these maps themselves were tight within them, but Houston's been able to just get some of these like last fight rallies just and able to just blow through anything SDA is trying to, hold in that counterplay there. But
Houston
now I
moves up to
think
2-0, goes up 6-0 on the map counts. Kind of letting the league know that pretty
they
much you
mean
could say they're a
business.
top 2. Yeah, top 2, top
Yeah,
3 for
they
sure.
really mean business. Like there's definitely, like I said, there's tightness in these maps, but it's just Houston's able to just rally together as that team and set up a beautiful play. Like that last fight they did there, the early like the solo Venom engage, setting up with a big ult, 1700 health to stall through any damage Estee wants to throw at them. And by the time even that ult over health has burned through, the rest of Houston's there, and they're throwing out resource after resource after resource, burning through those SDA support ultimates. And I think that's really where their strength lies, is to rally in for that one fight.
You got
But yeah, I think now it's our time to pick who we think the MVP of this game is. I'm seeing some picks out of the chat here, and I really think I got to agree with I'm leaning Reem MVP. I think that Hella, that map 3 and that Punisher map 2 was just actually insane, just complete dominance. Not to devalue Crazy Cut on that DPS there, saw a lot of stuff on that Winter Soldier and then Namor on this map too, but I don't know. That Hella alone, I think is just what's defining here, at least in my opinion.
100%. And I think not just
Well,
the
and that
picks, but I
Punisher.
think that Remy's creativity definitely came out. You definitely saw it, especially when you have a mirror lineup. You definitely, the creativity and the angles you take as a DPS really stands out, especially in a league match. And
Oh my god, yeah.
100%, 100% MVP.
Like
And maybe we'll see. Well, maybe we'll see some Namor and more Hella bans in the future
Yeah,
of the season.
I would also think so. That like that
Just to
Hella,
ban that team
they
up.
didn't die round 1 of map 3 there. The entire Houston attack, they didn't die once. They did not die until basically right before SDA took first point on their attack. So I think again that shows just the dominance they were able to have. There wasn't anybody to kill them. There wasn't anybody to get that pick. But
And if you're San Diego, I think you just got to learn from this. You got
yeah,
San Francisco next week. You could definitely win that. I think they could definitely win all their games. They look really good. It's just kind of sticking everything together, kind of staying more coordinated. Because you could
it's
say
letting the hands lock in. The brain's there, the hands need to lock in.
San Diego could have easily been up 2-0 going into map 3. No
Yes.
doubt about that at all. It just little, like that Captain America contest really costed them, that first map on the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been their game. That should have been their point. And it's just the little things.
But I think that's everything for us here as well on the production side. It's a great game to watch. I hope everybody enjoyed watching it. But otherwise, I've been Saucepan, and it was a pleasure to cast this game.
Thank you for having me on. This was really fun. Thank you guys for listening to me and giving me the chance. Looking forward to it. Really excited. This is just week 2, so get your predictions.
Excited for the rest of this season. Make it a good one. Good night, everybody.
Have a good weekend, y'all. Stay safe out there.